All right, let's jump right into this explainer and demystify how StormTrade is bringing decentralized derivatives straight into your Telegram app. Now, if you're deep in the DeFi space, you already know friction is the absolute enemy of adoption. Well, today we're looking at a protocol that essentially takes a giant eraser to that friction. We're going to unpack exactly how this whole thing works, how it taps into the TON blockchain, and how you can actually rack up rewards just by participating and learning. Here is our quick roadmap for today. 1. Introducing StormTrade. 2. Getting started and trading. 3. How Keeper bots work. 4. Storm and SLP tokens. 5. Learn, earn, and get rewarded. And finally, 6. The future of StormTrade. Let's get right to it. Section 1. Introducing StormTrade. You know, the jump from a centralized exchange to a DX usually comes with a pretty brutal learning curve. You've got clunky browser extensions, confusing interfaces, the whole shebang. But the ultimate hook here is bypassing all that noise. You can trade with up to 500x leverage right where you're already chatting with your friends. You literally never have to leave Telegram to manage your portfolio. You get advanced trading options, real-time price updates, and pairs backed by TON, USDT, and Notcoin all perfectly baked into the Telegram mini app ecosystem. By leveraging the blazing speed and incredibly low fees of the TON blockchain, StormTrade gives you instant execution. But take a look at that third point, social fi mechanics. This is exactly how they're planning to onboard the next 10 million users. They're weaving squad trading tournaments, NFT collections, and copy trading right into a social app we use every single day. And hey, if you still want that classic desktop trading view setup, they have a dedicated web app for that, or you can just stick to the Telegram bot when you're on the move. Section 2. Getting started and trading. Because a platform is only as good as its UX, they've built 2 super easy paths to get you connected. We're talking minutes from discovering the app to placing your first trade. If you're sitting at your desk, you just hit Connect Wallet and scan a QR code with your mobile TON wallet, something like TON Keeper. Or if you're strictly a Telegram bot user, it plugs straight into TON Space, which is Telegram's native wallet. No annoying middlemen, no copying and pasting seed phrases across a dozen tabs. Just pure, trustless security. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Risk management. When you're playing with high leverage, safety is absolutely paramount. StormTrade uses what's called isolated margin. Basically, the margin you lock in for a specific trade is completely quarantined from the rest of your account balance. So if the market suddenly swings and liquidates a single position, it doesn't drain your entire wallet. It's a crucial feature that gives you resilience against those wild, intense market swings we all know so well. Whenever you open a position, you're essentially making a speculative bet on where the market is going next, right? You've got your standard longs and shorts, but remember, the second you sprinkle leverage on top of those positions, you really have to weigh risk versus reward carefully. Leverage amplifies your potential gains, sure, but it amplifies your potential losses just as fast. Running 10x leverage means you're controlling a position 10 times the size of your actual capital. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but for sure one that demands strict discipline. Section 3. How Keeper bots work. So let's peek under the hood at the unseen referees of this exchange. It really begs the question, how does a smart contract execute a trade without an external trigger? We talk about smart contracts constantly in DeFi, but here's the secret. They're actually kind of passive. They can validate conditions, but they can't act completely on their own without a nudge. And that brings us to the absolutely indispensable role of Keeper bots. These Keeper bots are literally the workhorses of StormTrade. They trigger the periodic funding payments, which, by the way, are essential for keeping the perpetual contract price pegged to the actual spot market price. They're also constantly scanning the order book to execute your buy and sell orders, making sure your entries and exits are smooth. And perhaps most importantly, they liquidate the underwater positions. This is exactly what keeps the whole platform solvent and perfectly stable. So why would anyone actually go through the trouble of running a Keeper bot? Well, incentives, of course. As a reward, operators holding a special Genesis NFT packet 0.02% of the executed order's nominal value. On top of that, they snag 50% of the liquidation penalty every time they close out an underwater position. This setup turns running a bot into a highly profitable gig, ensuring there's always a dedicated community maintaining the network's health. Section 4. Storm and SLP tokens. Getting a solid grip on the tokenomics is totally key to understanding how sustainable this whole ecosystem is. You really need to see the distinct roles here. Storm is the deflationary utility and governance token. It has a hard cap of 1 billion tokens, and it's basically your VIP pass to reduce trading fees and get rewarded for being active. SLP on the flip side is your liquidity provision token. It gets minted when you add liquidity and burned when you pull it out. It literally represents your direct share of the vault's liquidity. This quote perfectly captures the dynamic and the counterparty risk for SLP holders. The vault acts as the counterparty to literally every trade on the platform. So if a trader hits a massive win, that payout comes straight out of the vault, which might temporarily ding the SLP price. But to make up for taking on that risk, SLP stakers scoop up to 70% of the platform fees generated from trading, liquidations, and funding fees. The long-term goal is simple. Protocol-generated fees should drive the net inflow much higher than the net outflow. Section 5. Learn, earn, and get rewarded. StormTrade isn't just a place to execute trades, they're actively building a super engaged community. Case in point, the Season 2 RP mining program. You can farm reward points, or RP, basically everywhere on the platform. These points track your activity and set you up to share in a future Storm token airdrop. Knock out $1,000 in trading volume? Bam, 100 RP. Provide liquidity? There's another 50 RP. And their referral program is honestly massive right now. You score a bonus 500 RP just for getting a friend to make their first trade. You can even stack points by playing totally risk-free minigames. And hey, if you want to level up your crypto knowledge, the Storm Academy actually pays you to learn about DeFi. You swipe through these really slick, interactive visual cards. They even throw in some memes to make the heavy concepts digest easier. Then you take a quick 5-question quiz. Pass it, and you walk away with a digital certificate and, you guessed it, more RP. It's a brilliant way to turn dry technical analysis into fun, bite-sized missions right inside your Telegram app. Section 6. The future of StormTrade. These guys are moving fast. They already knocked out their token generation event in October 2024, and their V2.5 upgrade effectively killed price impact by using a custom sequencer. But if we look ahead, the roadmap is absolutely stacked with relentless innovation. They are currently building a gasless embedded V3 wallet, meaning you won't even need a separate TN connection soon. They're dropping spot trading with leverage, and get this, they're actually weaving in AI to help optimize your entry and exit strategies and forecast market moves. That's a real game changer. So we're looking at a protocol rapidly evolving to offer the buttery smooth, lightning-fast experience of a centralized exchange, but with the absolute freedom and self-custody of a DEX. Which leaves us with the real question. Are you ready to take full control of your decentralized financial journey and start trading on your own terms? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I hope you found these mechanics as fascinating as I do. Catch you next time.